Hello. Welcome. Welcome to episode 31 of the Yarnivore Flosstube. I am Sadie. I am your host. I am Sadie Rune on Twitter and Instagram. Blue Rune on Ravelry. And I have stuff to show you. And then I'm going to be doing the Jessie Does Stuff behind the scenes tag, which I promised a few episodes back, but I actually recorded a little bit, and I'm going to insert it when I hit there. I have worked on 3 things this week. 3, because apparently I'm a glutton for punishment. I also joined the Soulful Stitchers group, something like that. I heard it talked about on both Pam from Pam's Flosstube. She was talking about it, and then of course Jessie Marie Does Stuff also spoke of it, and they're doing a 1-year whip down kind of thing where you pick 10 to 15. You make a concentrated effort to do that. You have a little whip video, so I'm probably going to do that at some point this week because I really want to do that. I really need to whip down some stuff because there are too many whips in my life. It is starting to get crazy, and I'm going to have anxiety over it. There's going to be a panic attack any day now over how I have too much stuff on the go, and I really can't handle it. You can totally tell where the hair dye ends and where my real hair begins now. I should deal with that. It's kind of intense, isn't it? Oh well. Yeah, I know you came here to watch me show you my extensive roots. So, jumping right on into the whips. I will show this one first. I will show you the world. No, this is not Aladdin. This is the Bent Creek Halloween Arches. Looks something like that. I picked this one up a week or 2 ago. This is actually an older whip. I am using 28 count Carolina linen or something such, or Irish linen. It comes in a roll. You get it at Michael's. This is how far I have gotten. David Bowie likes to watch me work. So last time you saw it, I think I was working on this arch in this house. So this arch and house are done. And then I was over arches. I was like, I should do the next arch, but I'm so over this that I'm gonna put it down for a little bit. So that got put down. I was thinking about doing a giveaway for it when I'm done, but then a friend of mine really wants it, so I'm gonna send it to her. Then, because I was like, I want to start something new. Actually, no. It wasn't I want to start something new. It was like, I really want to work on this because I love it. Is the Dear Heart by Kathy Barrick. Kathy Barrick is one of my spirit animals. I basically want everything she's ever done because I love it. And I had everything I needed, so I started. And it is just as amazing as it looks. This is 32 count Plum Street Paddock linen. It is gorgeous. I love 32 count linen. I didn't know I did until I started working with it, but this stuff I love. I don't love the stuff I'm doing on the arches, which is probably why it's so hard to work with. But I think that's because it's 28 and this is 32. I also really love the 35 I'm using. What does this say about me? But I also love Ada. It just so happens that I do not like 28 count linen. So I worked on that for quite some time, and that was awesome. And I love working on that. And then I was like, you know what? Last night, actually, I was like, you know what? I'm jonesing. And I don't know why I was jonesing. Maybe it was what I was seeing on the interwebs. But I had to break out and decided this needs to get finished because I love it too much for it to just sit and wait. So Stevie came back, and I started working on Stevie. So all that orange at the bottom there, that I got done, and I filled in a bit of her little purse stash thing. More Krennic got put in, as well as here. If I hold it this way. Okay, so down here, this got worked on, this got filled in, and up in here, more Krennic got put in. So there you go. There's a nice little close-up for you. So the top half is done except for needing beads. So, and backstitching. Beads and backstitching on the top half. I'm into the bottom half. So I was like, you know what? She's coming out of retirement. I want to get this done. I want her to be done because I have a bunch of Mirabilias. I bought a bunch because I really like them. I find them aesthetically pleasing. And so there you have it. That's what she will look like when she is done. And she is out of hibernation. However, I started the pelican. I got the fabric edged. I was ready to go. Started 1/1. Did not like 1/1. Really did not like 1/1. Tried 2/1. Too bulky. Did not like 2/2. Yes, loved. Would have done it on 2/2. Did not have the appropriate amount cut because I had cut the piece and I needed more. And then I was like, this thing would be massive. So I'm going to buy a piece of 40 count for the pelican. So Sue, we're on. I can't start yet because I need to buy some 40 count. Fail. Pelican fail. However, I am going to get to it. I will get it done. However, can I say however one more time? I am really enjoying having Stevie back. The deer heart is really holding my interest. So those two are probably going to get a lot of work. I also would like to thank Julicious. I won the Telltale Heart, no, the Master and the Macabre giveaway she had. And I'm so excited because I want to do that one so bad. So bad. Okay. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to pause here. I will be inserting the beginning of the behind the scenes tag. Okay. Hey everybody. This is going to be a portion of the behind the scenes tag by Jessie Marie Does Stuff. I will probably have introduced this portion. Hi. I'm recording on my phone, my setup. So there's my camera. There's where everything gets done before it heads into the editor system. Show notes, which I often talk about. There's the stack, CDs. There's some stuff I haven't worked on in a while. Finished socks I haven't worn. Floss, my coffee, of course. That's the update that just went up. Here's some of the things for the knitting podcast. Here is the table I constantly talk about where I stack everything. You will see the Mirabilia. And there's the blanket that's way too friggin' big. So that's my little setup here. It's all done at this computer. Okay, so we're back into the regularness now that you've seen what I do back here. And we will be doing the tag. Okay, optional. Take a picture if you can say I did that. How did I come up with my channel name? I don't actually know what my channel name is. Is it We Shoot Stars? We Shoot Stars was my name on Plurk. It was a name I had for a while. It was one of my internet handles. I came up with it when I was drunk and reading a lot of Jack Kerouac. If it's Sadie Ruin, I think I've previously explained, Blue Ruin was already taken, and Blue Ruin is a reference to Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind and the character Clementine Krasinski. As far as the Yarnivore goes, I came up with that name for my podcast eons ago, and it was just something that popped into my head. What do you use for videos? I use my phone for all the vlogs, which there will be a monthly vlog at the end of this month. I decided to continue on with those little vloggies for you since everybody liked them. And then I use an HP widescreen camera for recording in the spare room here, in the craft room. Do you record onto video software or directly onto YouTube? I've never recorded directly to YouTube. I record on my recording software, and then I run it through an editing program. I don't go the extra step of compressing the way some podcasters do. Do you edit? If so, what do you use? If not, why not? I do edit. I don't really edit so much as I add the intro and outro, and I'll stack things into the, like, on top of each other, I guess. If that's editing, fine. I use the Movie Maker. I think that's it, is an HP Movie Maker. How many takes are involved in your videos, or do you just record it all in one shot? Just one shot. Sometimes I have to pause, and then I'll splice them together, but I never do more than one take. I really don't care if I look like crap. Doesn't bug me. And I don't, if I need to, like, sometimes there have been times where my camera is completely bunked, or there's been a power surge and I've lost everything. In those cases, you do need to record, but I have never re-recorded because I found something problematic with the original recording, unless it was sound, an audio issue, or what have you. If things go wrong during recording, do you stop and restart or just post it? Depends on what's going wrong. For the most part, if I could just keep going, I'd just keep going and post it. I find that when people edit that stuff out, I just prefer, it makes it more homey. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that. I just prefer to leave it in because I feel that I am not a perfect person. And this is not something I make money off of. This is not something that I'm doing it for fun. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time editing, and it doesn't need to be perfect. No one believes I'm perfect. I am very far from perfect. So my videos don't need to be. From beginning of setup of video to completely uploaded on YouTube, how long does a standard video take? Oh, all afternoon? All afternoon. At least, because not only do I have to record it, but then I have to check it. Then I have to save it, put it into the software, do all the stuff in the software, save that, then upload it to YouTube, write the write-up with the YouTube, and then if it's with the knitting one, I post it to my blog, and I post it to Ravelry with show notes, and that takes even longer. So usually all afternoon. The majority of an afternoon, almost all day. It depends on the upload time. The upload time can vary. What kind of prep do you do? Script, organization, run through, practice. This is my prep. I write show notes so that I remember what I need to talk about, and so that I can remember what I had on last week, or just general stuff that needs to be done. Do you watch your own videos once they're published? Hell no. I don't want to see myself. I used to, when I first started recording the knitting podcast, I did to make sure everything was going okay. Now I assume everything's going okay, and I don't even bother, because I don't want to hear my own voice. I'm sorry. I don't like watching myself. I don't like listening to myself. Other people do. I get that, because I love watching people, and they're like, I do not like watching myself. Why do you people do this to yourselves? If you could change or enhance or improve your videos in any way, what would you, and what would you do? I suppose I would. I would make it a better quality, and I would have better lighting. But life is life, and I live in the Pacific Northwest, and I don't have $200 for a Ring camera right now. So that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is I'm going to use the lighting I've got, and I'm going to use the camera that I've got, and it's just going to keep going the way it goes. It looks like I've watched portions of myself to see how it looks differently. It works really nicely on phones. It works really great on tablets. Not so great when it's all blown up. I could probably spend some time fiddling around with all the tech and things, but would I improve? Yes. Would I take a lot of time out of my already busy day to do it? Probably not. share any other tidbits you might have about your own recording and or any funny stories related to your channel. Well, for those few of you who don't know, and I don't know if I've ever said it on Flosstube or not, so I will tell you, I'm married because of my channel. Originally, my husband's mother, and continually, my husband's mother was a viewer of my knitting podcast who was like, you have to meet my son. And subsequently, we started chatting, and yeah, we ended up getting married. I got married because of my podcast, my knitting podcast, and so that is probably the weirdest thing about my podcast. It's both a blessing and a curse in many ways. It's super fun, and I wouldn't shade it for anything. But I don't know that I have, like, super interesting things. I've been out at shows or whatever, and people recognize me. Not a big deal. Like, and when I say shows, I mean, like, knitting conventions. I've never been out, like, in the wilds of the world at Joann's and have someone go, oh my god, you're Sadie from the Flosstube. No, that's never happened. I have been to big shows where people are like, oh, you're Sadie from Yarnivore. And it's like, yes, I am. Thank you. Have a sticker. But probably the weirdest thing is I got married because of my channel. I used to be on Blip. There used to be a website called Blip where you could monetize things. It was very much like YouTube, except you could stream it into iTunes. So I used to be on iTunes, and I had a lot more viewers back then, but I just don't feel like compressing everything and having a third party and pay money to get everything over onto iTunes. So there's a big chunk of my podcasts, my knitting podcasts, missing, and that's because Blip ate them all. And I didn't have, my computer died, I didn't have them backed up, and I didn't have the time. I was getting married at the time. So they never got ported over to YouTube. So there's a bunch that are missing, but they were there. And so that's the other thing that's happened with my channel, is originally I started on YouTube for like 2 seconds, and then I went straight to Blip. And then I came back once YouTube opened up from 15 minutes, because it used to just be 15 minutes. A thing, and people used to have to break their podcasts into 15-minute blurbs, and now they don't have to. So yeah, that's everything I have to say about that. I guess I'll see everybody next week, and happy stitching.